9589 looking all right. Good goes. We travel into Sussex County. Big road shaping up. 113 on Route 1. 404 from Bridgeville to Georgetown to Harbison and Lewis. Not too bad. Steady uneventful drive into Wycomico County on 50 from Willits to Pittsburgh Parsonsburg. Bypass around town good. 50 good to the Bay Bridge. That's your traffic for the Voice Radio Network.
Harvey Levin.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Harvey.
Hi.
It's Bill and Jessica, Power 1017 in Ocean City, Maryland. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Hey, we're great. Thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it. Big fan, by the way.
Yes, we are.
Let's
Thank
start
you.
that off.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys do great things, not only on the website, but following you on TV and all that. Let's get right into it. Everybody knows about TMZ. Everybody knows Harvey. We got to talk about this new special that you're, executive producer, of course. TMZ investigates 9/11, the fifth plane. It premieres tonight on Fox. The fifth plane.
What's the scoop?
Yeah. Give us a rundown. What's this all about?
Well, a lot happened. So this is a United flight, that 767 that was scheduled to go from JFK to LAX, taking off at 9 o'clock in the morning on 9/11. There was a lot that happened on this airplane that aroused the suspicion of the flight crew, even before any of the planes hit the tower or they knew anything was going on. And the suspicions were enough that the FBI got wind of this, and the night of 9/11, the FBI beelined it for a hotel where the flight crew was staying, interviewed each of the flight attendants individually, and then took some of them to a lineup at the Port Authority to see if they could identify, in particular, 4 passengers who were sitting in first class who had aroused suspicion. But I will tell you, there's a lot that happened on this airplane. The one thing that is really alarming, this plane had taxied out, and the pilot told us, we interviewed the pilot, he told us, look, normally they would have been in the air because there would only have been 1 or 2 planes ahead of him on the taxiway. But for some reason on this day, there were 10 planes ahead of him. So they were in line to take off when the World Trade Center was hit. The airport was shut down. The tower told all the planes, you guys are on your own. We're evacuating. They got back to the gate. They evacuated the entire plane. Not a single person was left on this plane. They locked the doors. 20 minutes later, people on the ground saw 2 people running. They were in uniform running in the cabin of the plane. So authorities came to figure out what was going on. They opened the door, and there are hatches that go from the belly of the plane into the cabin area. They're almost never used, and for some reason, these hatches were open, and the people who were running in the plane were gone. So the pilot tells us that he was told by the chief pilot of United that the 767 parked next to his, which was not scheduled to take off, they found box cutters in the first class seat pockets where these 4 people would have been on his plane, and the tail number was just 1 digit off. And the pilot says basically he was told that they believed that those box cutters were meant for his airplane because his plane was the one that was going to take off. And the pilot believes that there might have been people on the ground who might have been helping people, if this was indeed going to be a hijacking, to plant, weapons in the airplane, and that maybe these people who came on the plane after it was locked went through the hatch to get rid of any incriminating evidence.
So obviously, everybody who was on that plane, was talked to or were they found and, interviewed and, given the 5th degree, right? I wish I could tell you that I had an answer to that. I don't. Yeah. Like, what's going on here? Why is this all of a sudden coming out now in 2023? Like, why? How come we haven't heard? Unless some people heard about it and I'm just in the dark. I don't know.
Yeah, almost everybody is in the dark on this. Look, this is not a story that the 9/11 Commission did not do its job. We're not saying that at all.
Right.
The 9/11 Commission had a limited amount of money and a limited amount of time, and they were shut down by law after a certain period. So they were charged with looking at at these 4 airplanes that were used as weapons of mass destruction. And so when the 9/11 Commission filed its report, they asked Congress to continue investigating. And some members of the 9/11 Commission are critical of Congress for not doing it.
Yeah.
But this just was not on their radar. It's never mentioned in the 9/11 Commission report. As for how we found out, I mean, I'll tell you. I've known about this for about 17, 18 years because I went to UCSB undergrad, and one of my really close friends became a flight attendant for United. And a couple of years after 9/11, I had dinner with her, and she told me this story. She was on United Flight 23, this plane. She told me the story, and my jaw dropped. But at the time, there was nothing I could do with it. And then we had dinner 7 months ago, and I said, Barb, do you remember this story? And she scoffed at me, and she said, are you kidding? I ended my flying career. I was so traumatized by this. And she said, of course. And I thought, well, now I can do something. So we've been investigating this for 6 months. And, you know, we've interviewed the flight crew, the flight attendants, the pilot, the United dispatcher, member of the 9/11 Commission, and others. And, you know, I think what you're going to see is a pretty shocking story.
Wow, it sounds like it. I mean, this is, and you were saying you've known about this for that long. Of course you have. You're Harvey Levin.
Well, no, I mean it was because one of my friends was a flight attendant and ended up on that plane.
That's what I'm saying. You always get the scoop first, no matter what, whether you had a friend of a flight attendant or not. You're Harvey Levin. I mean, you know, you guys have broken so many stories, and I mean, it's just amazing everything you guys do. I mean, but that's just an incredible, fascinating. I mean. And again, in 2023, here we are just learning about this. It's just crazy. I can't wait to see the special.
Yeah, you know, and you can judge for yourself. Look, the people who were on that plane, who worked that plane, they believe this was the 5th airplane. We leave that to people who are watching it to judge for themselves. And but I will say there are things that are very hard to explain.
Yeah, sounds like it. Again, TMZ special. TMZ investigates 9/11, the 5th plane. You know, on Fox. Make sure to check it out.
It's Harvey, on tonight at 9 o'clock.
Yes, tonight 9 o'clock on Fox. Looking forward to it. Harvey, any other big stories that we should be looking out for? You know, I mean, on the website, you're investigating, you know, I mean, anything breaking, because I'm telling you, you guys are it, you know, I mean, before anybody else.
Well, unfortunately, the biggest story going in celebrity news and pop culture right now is this crazy, please don't make me get into it, this Vanderpump Rules cheating scandal story about it's called the Scandival. Tom Sandoval has been it's turned into this Scandival, which is just this kind of ridiculous story where, you know, the beneficiary of this is going to be Bravo because everybody's going to watch this reunion show where people go nuts.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, don't worry. We'll follow it on the website. Harvey, you're the best.
Thank you.
Yes,
hey, my pleasure, guys.
Looking forward to checking out the special.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Have a great day.
See you guys.